Just arrived at the gym. Actually gonna have such a good back day. I'm so hyped. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
This is about the fourth time that I've tried to film this, a little rant. But yeah, my iPhone storage ran out. And the entire time my AirPods were connected, but my AirPods were in my pocket, so the audio was absolutely awful. And if it's a portion of the video where I'm only talking, the audio is crucial. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm a little irritated by that because I've been talking to this camera for about 20 minutes and all of the footage just, obliterated, just absolutely awful. But anyway, just got a great back day in, I hope you all enjoyed that and learned some stuff from that. But yeah, if you guys just wanted some motivation or whatever, some like gym motivation, I would recommend going and click off, I want to like have a heart-to-heart conversation with some of y'all, and I hope that, my goal as like, a YouTuber or whatever, as I'm uploading this video, I want to actually have like a positive benefit on someone else's life, because personally, I've been in the dumps before. I've been at rock bottom, and if I could, tell my younger self something now, I know that's not possible, but just the fact that someone might have been in the shoes that I was in a while back, and I personally, I think I'm at a great spot now. I'm extremely grateful for where I am and the opportunities that I've had. I'm at a great gym. I have, you know, great clothes on. I live in a nice house, but, you know, I definitely have struggled with, you know, mental and physical health before. And if I can help somebody, you know, feel the joy that I feel from having the passions, or just finding passions in whatever, you know, rock climbing for whatever, literally just anything. If I could genuinely help someone and like touch somebody's life, you know, that's really what I want. That's where I gain like the most joy from, you know, helping others. I would say, you know, obviously I would want to eventually monetize this channel if I could, but at the time being, I'm in high school, I'm a sophomore, I'm literally 16 years old. If you guys don't believe that, then, you know, whatever, I don't need to prove anything to y'all, but, yeah, I would say discipline is a weird thing. I think a lot of the times when you're getting into a new hobby, it's really easy to get super, like, I struggle with this personally. If I'm finding a new hobby, I get absolutely obsessed, absolutely like obsessed. And it's again that Dunning-Kruger effect where so it's like a graph, and you got the confidence levels on the y-axis, and the x-axis is just like time. And you know, as you start out that new hobby, you gain, you know, confidence. You think you're on top of the world, and then once you like been doing it for a couple months, specifically, I'll make this scenario about the gym, but if you've been doing it for, you know, a couple months, you reach that initial plateau. You know, everything before then has been those newbie gains where, you know, you're progressing at like like what feels like an exponential rate. You know, you go into the gym and you're just hyped to get a workout, but once you like really like plateau, like I've been there before, where, you know, I've been working out for 4 or 5 months up to a year, and I just, you know, I feel awful. You know, I don't want to work out. And that's where, you know, first 3 or 4 months, you build up this crazy confidence, and you're just at the top of the world. You feel great, and then you just go to rock bottom. And you just have to consistently show up, and you will get back up to that confidence. But if you do not consistently show up, this is why I love the gym so much, because there's so much tangible progress. Every single time that you go into the gym, you are bettering yourself, without a doubt. Every time you're eating a good meal, you know, you're locking in with your diet, you're hitting the sauna, you're doing your cardio, you are getting better without a doubt. You know, obviously that you could argue against that, but, you know, like, if we're being serious, like, it is the most, I don't know, I think it's the hobby or like genre of something that is the most, like, it has the most tangible progress. Every single time that I go into the gym, I know I'm like proud of myself for showing up. And originally, it really, I have like almost an addiction built up to it. You know, I don't want to make this reference to the gym, because I don't struggle with going to the gym. I would say I struggle with doing my cardio. But when I started out, I used to go on like pretty long runs when I started working out and everything. I don't really anymore, but the same applies, like the point that my iPhone storage ran out again, but got most of the video done. So back to what I was saying about running. I personally really struggled with running, and, you know, I want you to apply this if you guys are struggling with anything in life, whether that be finding the discipline to go to the gym, whatever. I used to struggle with running because, you know, it was really hard, but as I ran more and more, I ended up building up that mental callus, and, you know, I desired to run. I desired to have that dopamine high, like when you get home and you jump in a freezing shower because you're panting like a dog after sprinting. Like, it's just that high, you know. I just did something that is extremely hard. I just ran 5, 10, 15, 3 miles, whatever it be. I just did something that I absolutely did not want to do. And, you know, David Goggins talks about this a lot. I'm not too tapped in with him anymore, but, you know, he talks about this a lot. You have to build up the mental callus, like, you have to just consistently do hard things every single day. You know, whether that be going to the gym. You know, everybody has their own, you know, things that they struggle with, or they, you know, have to, like, work hard to do. You know, for me at that time I was running, but, you know, maybe you are struggling with your diet, maybe you fall into gluttony a lot. You know, I've been there, honestly, I've been there. It's just like, you have to trick your mind into doing it. You know, you have to find a different source of dopamine that is positive. You know, you have to, you know, when I started seeking, or not seeking, but finding success, was when I found passion in doing hard things. And, you know, that's easy on paper, but when you're doing an hour straight of cardio, that's when it, you know, it gets real. You know, not too long ago I did 60 minutes of cardio. You know, it was on like a 8 incline at 3.8 miles an hour. I actually, I ripped a hole in my shoe. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I ripped a hole in these shoes. Do not walk in Air Maxes. I ripped a hole in my shoe and in my sock, and it actually created a blister that rubbed so much it bled into my sock and it stained my white shoes. I think I mainly got it out, but yeah, it's just like doing stuff like that. It's like, you know, like when I was walking out of the gym that day, I was on top of the world because I was like, man, the cardio was the last thing I wanted to do, and I just did an hour straight of it. You know, I was dripping in sweat, as you can imagine. I was dripping in sweat, you know, and I was walking out of the gym and people were probably like, what the heck did that guy just do? Or maybe nobody noticed at all, but it's really just whether, like, how you perceive that feeling, you know? Maybe you could be like, oh my gosh, I'm never doing cardio again. But personally, I was like, man, I never want to do cardio again, but I want to feel like this again. And that's what you have to imagine, you know? Every day when you go into the gym, you have to be like, man, I'm gonna get a crazy pump, and I'm gonna, you know, grow to be Ronnie Coleman. That is not a very desirable physique. I personally don't want to be walking around looking like Ronnie Coleman. I only said it because he's on a painting right there, like a big mural. That's actually so cool. But besides the point, that was just a quick little rant. I want to try to do that for y'all like every video, because again, I really want to just have, you know, if I can inspire someone to become a better version of themselves, that brings me joy. That's what I want to do. That's the reason for making this channel. That's the reason for content creation. You know, I want to inspire others to be better versions of themselves, because out of personal experience, I would never go back to who I was. I mean, you know, I was pathetic, honestly. From my point of view now, I was pathetic. You know, I was gluttonous. I wasn't caring about my health. I was never working out. I was doom scrolling like every day. You know, just. I ran out of iPhone storage for the 30th time, so I'm gonna wrap this up quickly. You know, moral of the story, I had bad habits, but you know, I built who I am now, and that's every single time I look in the mirror, I can see like what I've done. You know, I can see all the progress that I've gotten. I'm like, damn, you know, I built this physique. I really like built this, you know, and that's why I love the gym so much. I can see every single day, you know, me getting better. And that's why I want to inspire like so many other people, because going to the gym, doing everything, you know, it's hard. Maybe you're obese, that's a bit of a harsh word. Maybe you're like larger, you know, you're struggling with your weight or whatever, and you want to lose some weight, and you come into the gym and you're scared to death. You know, you're scared to death. You think everybody's looking at you. If you catch me looking at you and you're a larger person getting a workout in, it's because I'm inspired. I'm inspired that you took the opportunity that you had to make yourself better, and you're actually doing it. That doesn't happen a lot. Like, I want you to not undervalue yourself if you're struggling with maybe your health, you know, because I've been there. It's not easy. My arm is actually like really sore right now, and holding up this really light iPhone is kind of giving me a hard time. But back to what I was saying, it's not easy, you know, it's not easy to go into the gym. But I want you to know, if you're struggling with maybe discipline or finding the right reasons to like better yourself, please just put in the work, put in the effort, and you will feel so much better, you know. Seriously, you know, you reap what you sow, you put in what you get out. Like, it's one of those things, like that quote where it's like, if you want to achieve your goal, like, if you want to achieve your goals, you have to be the person, be the version of yourself that has achieved the goals. Moral of the story, work hard and you will get what you want.